Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the 30 Teams in 30 Days here on Behind the Score. Today we'll be talking about the Minnesota Twins. Uh, so we'll jump in. I just want to say thank you to MLB.com. They are not a sponsor, but that's where I got the information from the depth charts and the player information on there for the averages that I'm using. So I want to thank them for that. 2021 lineup for the Twins. First off, I have Byron Buxton. He's center fielder, batting right, 270 average with a 322 on base for his career. This is a guy that can get on base and hit for average. It's a little bit lower than you would expect for people near the top of the lineup, but a guy that can get on base is real well there. I know he's got some speed. The problem there is he's had some on and off seasons the last few years. So definitely looking for him to have a breakout season there. Josh Donaldson hitting second, third baseman, right-hander, 276 to 367 on base percentage. This guy is getting older, but still playing well, in my opinion. He can get on base. He has some power, so that's definitely great to have at the top of the lineup there. Nelson Cruz at number 3. He'll be the DH, right-hander, batting 276, on base at 352. This is a guy that also can get on base. He has tons of power. Uh, Even at his age, he's defying the odds there and definitely kicking it to father time and still putting up great numbers. So definitely great to see what he does there this year. Andrelton Simmons batting fourth. He'll be the shortstop, right-hander, 264 to 302. This is a guy that does well at playing shortstop. Came over from the Angels last season. One thing with Andrelton Simmons, I know the Angels had a long shot getting into the playoffs last season. But they did have an outside chance depending on losses by other teams. They did not make it, but Andrelton Simmons decided to opt out for the rest of the season with only a handful of games left. To me, that would be real disrespectful to the team, especially to somebody like Mike Trout, that people have been trying to get into the playoffs and win a championship for that guy and for the team. So to go through all season and then just to opt out because you think you're not going to make it is a reason why I said he probably wouldn't end up back with the Angels. And as we see here, he's moved on to the Twins. Jorge Polanco playing second, switch hitter, 257 average and 315 on base over his career. This guy is a middle of the road player, so it's definitely slotting him in there in fifth. He does have over 300 on base percentage, so he does get on base, but definitely middle of the road when it comes to average and to the lower end. Jake Cave, left fielder, bats left, 244 with a 335. This is another guy that gets on base. So it'll be great to see him move some guys around. Putting him in that sixth spot definitely helps out the middle to the bottom of the lineup to keep it going. To try to get the lineup back to the guys at the top again. So by putting him around some guys that struggle a bit, definitely helps out there. It helps other guys get nice pitches as well. Next would be Max Kepler, right fielder, batting left, 226 average and 294 on base. This guy is definitely on the lower end. He does bat left though, so it's definitely a spot I seen him putting in, trying to break up the right-handed batters. But he's definitely on the bottom of that list. And next would be Miguel Sano. Plays first, batting 224 and a 330. The great guy to be in that spot, like I said, to carry on throughout the lineup. Some guys you can move in and out and around depending on where you want to have them. I have them near the bottom as a way to strengthen the bottom of the order and get guys on base. But some other guys might have him in different spots. I guess it all depends on, and that's the great thing about baseball and even managers. Not one guy on one team is the same as the next team. So even though we have people in different parts of the lineup, doesn't mean it's always wrong. It's just people see other people in better matchups. And last would be Mitch Garver, the catcher, at a 197, a 295. I don't think there's going to be any questions of why he's at the bottom of the lineup. Average is typical of some catchers. There's a lot of catchers in the league that aren't great when it comes to hitting, where some are a little bit better. So you'll see as go through here, there's gonna be some, and I've already been some catchers that have moved up in the lineup based on their hitting. But Mitch Garver, I definitely have near the bottom there. And their pitching rotation for this season, in my opinion, will be Kenta Maeda, or Maeda, in first there. Jose Barrios in second. Michael Pineda in third. J.A. Happ that went there from the Yankees, but in fourth. And Randy Donak in fifth, with Devin Smeltzer in the sixth spot. I definitely see this pitching rotation having a sixth spot. Though we have a couple of great guys near the top of the rotation, I think the bottom half is rather questionable. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a sixth guy and other people move into that rotation as the year goes along. Other storylines. This team has to exceed their career averages. Looking at these averages and on-base percentage for these guys' careers, this is definitely not a winning team. Nowhere close to a winning team. You look at a lot of the other teams, they've got 3, 4, even 5 guys batting over 300 for their career. This is definitely a team that's going to struggle if they can't put it together. We're going to look for some big seasons again from Nelson Cruz. Josh Donaldson being able to pick up and kind of show some flashes of the player he's been. And definitely Byron Buxton being a big one that's really got to prove himself. You know, you got to be the top guy in this team. You got to bring it forward, and this is the time to step up now, or this team could be facing a rebuild very quickly. That was the second one I had here. Donaldson and Buxton, are they reliable? If they can hit the ball, they're going to be, but defense isn't the only thing about this game. You have to bring the offense, and definitely going to have to see the potential there and have to exceed what they've been expected based on their career numbers. Like I said, this team needs Nelson Cruz to come back in a big way, even have a MVP type season. because there's a lot of the players that are looking at struggling on this team, and definitely going to need somebody to step up in a big way. And with Nelson Cruz and his big power, he could be the guy to step up and do that. Players to watch: Royce Lewis, shortstop, number one. Could he take Simmons' spot? Like I said, I wasn't a big fan of Andrelton Simmons coming to the end of last season. If this team struggles, we could definitely see some people being moved out if the organization decides it's time to rebuild it again and go in a different direction. So we could definitely see Royce Lewis later on in the season, or if there's an injury that comes up before then. Alex Kirilloff, outfielder and first base, number 2 in the organization. Trevor Larnach, outfielder, number 3. You have Jordan Belozovic, right-handed pitcher, number 4. And Johan Duran, right-handed pitcher, number 5. So it'll be definitely interesting to see these young guys where they fit in, what direction this team goes in. But if they don't pick it up in a big way and start off early and often, this could be a team that's looking to be going in a different direction real quick. So anyways, thanks again to MLB.com for the stats. That's where I got those. You can go and look at them there if you want to. And like I said, I don't have any sponsors for this podcast. I'm doing this solely by myself. I'm trying to build it up here, so who knows what happens in the future, but as of right now, I don't. But just remember, it's not always what happens in the game. There's a lot that's behind the score. Thank you very much and have a great day.